to another Star Wars Destiny video. Today we are revisiting my Yoda Saw mill deck for the Trilogy format. I've went through the deck and made a couple changes to it. This is just the newest version of the deck. We changed out the battlefield and a couple of the events. So let's just see what we have here. We're running 29 points worth of characters. So we have Yoda at 13. We have Saw at 16. We're running them both at Elite. So again, Yoda, 2 focus, disrupt, discard, shield, 2 specials. Special, choose and do 2 of the following. Gain a resource, give a character a shield, turn 1 of your dice to any side, or discard the top card of the deck. Generally, we're going to be using Yoda to discard the top card of the deck, or usually flip dice to specials so we can chain resolve those specials. And we have Saw. So 2 indirect, 3 indirect, disrupt, resource, special blank, and the special is discard a random card from a player's hand, then deal indirect damage to an opponent equal to the cost of the card that got discarded. So the special could be hit or miss on depending on how much damage it does, but it's still a card that you are discarding, and your opponents are then going to have to try to get that back out of their discard pile if possible. So we have just a few upgrades. We're running bartering, so 2 of them, 1 cost. Focus, discard, resource, +1 resource, special, and blank. Special, gain a resource. You may force each player to draw a card. So this has obviously the discard side. So this deck hits a lot of stuff off the top of the deck. So this will just give us another die or option so we can use it to discard out of their hand instead. We have 2 force focus, 2 cost. Shield, resource, special, special, blank. To play, spot a blue character. Special, turn 1 of your dice to any side. You may reveal a blue card from your hand to turn an opponent's die to any side. So this will allow us to further chain resolve our specials, as well as if we reveal a blue card, we can flip some of our opponent's dice as well. And the last upgrade we have is Force Meditation. 2 cost, focus, shield, resource, 2 specials in the blank. To play, spot a blue character. Special, discard the top 2 cards of the deck. So we can use our other things to focus into this, or our other specials to chain into this, and then discard 2 cards. We move into our supports here. We have 2 Bespin Wingguard from the draft set. 1 cost. Action, exhaust fifth support, and spend a resource to force an opponent to choose and discard a card from their hand. So again, this deck hits the deck pretty hard, but it doesn't hit the hand nearly as hard. So we're using stuff like Bespin Wingguard to have our opponents discard out of their hand. We have 2 R2-D2 from the Luke starter. 1 cost, melee, disrupt, shield, resource, 2 specials. Special is draw a card. You may turn 1 of your dice to any side. So we can use this again to further chain our specials together. And finally, for our last support, we have 2 Scrap Heap. 1 cost, after you discard 1 or more cards from an opponent's deck, you may exhaust this support to gain a resource. And then into our events, we have 2 Concentrate, 1 cost. Turn 1 of your dice to any side. You may spend 1 resource to turn another 1 of your dice to any side. We have 2 Easy Pickings, 1 cost. Spot a yellow character to remove 2 dice showing the same symbol and value. So this removes specials, it removes, let's say there's 2 dice that are showing 2 indirect each. You can use this to get rid of both of those, or any other dice that have a matching symbol and matching value. We have 2 Entangle, 2 costs from the Boba Fett starter. Spot a yellow character to remove up to 2 dice showing a combined value of 3 or less. So let's say they have a die showing a 2 and a die showing a 1. You can remove both of those. You can remove specials because they have a value of 0. It's pretty flexible as what it can remove, and it gets rid of 2 dice, which is pretty good. We have 2 Heightened Awareness. So 2 cost, it has Ambush, and give a character 3 shields. This will give us an extra action, and then it will also allow us to have a little bit more survivability by giving a character 3 shields. We have 2 Hidden Motive, 0 cost, choose a symbol, then re-roll an opponent's die. If the die just rolled the same symbol, or the chosen symbol, remove it. So you are causing your opponents to, let's say they have a really good die showing damage. You can say, range damage. They re-roll it. If it hits range damage, it gets removed. And if it hits something else, they'll probably have to either discard to re-roll or somehow play something else that will allow that die to be back on the original side with that damage, or whatever the symbol may be. We have 2 Impulsive, so 0 cost, has Ambush, resolve 1 of your dice. So we get another action after this. So we can use, let's say we have Yoda on his focus. We can play this, resolve the focus, focus into specials, and then get another turn to further chain those specials and resolve more of the specials. We have 2 mislead, 1 cost, remove a character die showing a value of 2 or less. So pretty solid removal. So just cost 1 and gets rid of a character die with value of 2 or less. Pretty good there. We have 2 scruffy looking nerf herder. 1 cost, choose one of the following card types: event, support, or upgrade. Then look at an opponent's hand and discard a card of the chosen type from it. So if you play this first, let's say first turn you play this, you call upgrade, you look at your opponent's hand, and whatever upgrade they're maybe planning on playing on their next turn, they have to discard that. Or you can use it for events or supports as well. And then we have 2 strength through weakness. 3 cost, discard the top 4 cards of the deck. The last time I played this deck, this card was still in there, and I ended up having enough resources through things like Scrap Heap, Yoda specials, and things like that. So I was able to get these to go off twice. I ended up just hard casting, or basically paying 3 resources to play these, and they get rid of 4 cards, which is pretty good. So again, this is the Yoda Saw Mill deck. Made a couple changes, so we changed the battlefield from the Outer Rim Outpost to Imperial Palace. So that'll let us further discard cards. So look at an opponent's hand and discard a card from it. We changed that out. We also added in Entangle. We removed Field of Force, which is turn blue dice to any side. I figured we have enough focus and enough specials that'll allow us to flip other dice that we didn't need that any longer. So we replaced it with Entangle to get a little bit more removal. And then I removed Explosive Tactics to put in Scruffy looking Nerf Herder. So Explosive Tactics was you discard the top card of the deck, and then your opponent takes indirect damage equal to the cost. So sometimes the cost was too high, basically, because you're discarding a 0 cost card. You're not going to take any damage. They still discard the card, but then the resource cost made it a little prohibitive to play. So now we're just using Scruffy looking Nerf Herder instead. So again, that's going to do it for this deck. That's going to do it for this video. There hasn't been a whole lot of Destiny news, not even out of Worlds yet. They had the Hyperspace report yesterday, and that was all focusing on X-Wing. So hopefully we get some more spoilers and some more Destiny news in the coming weeks. And of course, I'll be making videos on those when those come out. Until next time, that's going to do it. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.